Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of JCWA Unauthorized. I am your host, the owner of the JCWA, the one that pretty much edits everything, Joseph Torres. And this will be a very special episode because this will be the Platinum Tournament edition. And for those of you that didn't check out the Path 2/Red Alert 2 edition, which if you're a part of the JCWA, what are you waiting for? You really should. A lot of good information there. For those of you that didn't check that out, I pretty much did progress reports of, the entire roster, how everybody did at Path 2 Red Alert 2 and Red Alert 2. And the same thing is going to happen here. I'm going to give progress reports on everyone that participated at Platinum Tournament, as well as Path to Platinum Tournament, the qualifying scramble match that happened there. So it's pretty much going to be, my report on how I think the progress of people, and then what progress people are making, not necessarily just how they did in, the tournament event, for example, but rather, their whole run in general. Before I continue, this might be seen as a controversial episode, or might seem, a kind of left field in terms of some of the stuff I'll be talking about and some of the things I'm going to be saying. And just know everything that I'm saying here is from the heart, and it's something that I want every single one of you to know at the same time. That's why I'm doing it like this. So, one thing I wanted to mention, something special I wanted to do, because, I pretty much put everything together in the JCWA. I edit JCWA videos. I write it. I I come up with the storylines and the people and all that kind of stuff. And I have, of course, all of this creative control because I'm the one putting it together. I'm the one spending hours upon hours of my life and my time. A person, mind you, that goes to school full time. I'm a full-time college student, and trying to juggle that with other things, and I still make time to put the JCWA stuff together. Now, with that being said, what I wanted to introduce is the concept known as bonus events. I'd be saying to yourself, what the hell is a bonus event? Well, I'll tell you. At any time during JCWA's run, let's just say the middle of season 7 or the middle of season 8, if it happens, or whatever, whenever, right? Anybody can request a bonus event. And what a bonus event would be is basically an extra event created that doesn't necessarily have to 100% do with what's going on in the current storylines and things like that. So luckily, bonus events can take a while to put together, and there's really no rush in terms of okay, we need to get this event done before we continue on with the JCWA. No. And a big reason for that is that these bonus events are going to be edited by me in a 0% capacity, meaning I am not going to edit these at all. I am not going to edit the matches, the segments, the intro, nothing. What that basically is for is if anybody out there, anyone from the JCWA or whoever wants to take the responsibility of editing an event and putting an event together, that's what the bonus events are for. So basically, whether it's in your house, whether you come to my place to do it, or however you do it, you, the editor, will be 100% responsible for putting this event together. So that's why the good thing about that is, while you're putting together that event, I could continue putting together, whether it's the season or the next actual event coming up. But this is something I wanted to give to people in a way of saying, if you're willing to put down the dedication, the hard work to actually put together an event, I was gonna say a full event, but it's I don't know if I can really classify it as such because my limit for this is 2-match events. And the reason for that is, trust me, especially since a lot of you guys have never edited anything in your lives, not all of you, a lot of you guys, it's not a good idea to do anything past two. I dare say, it'd be better to do one match, but two matches is fine. Of course, I will train you 100% completely. I'll have you, go through Final Cut Pro. I'll teach you how to do this, how to do that, how to move stuff. Even if you're not necessarily at my house editing these, I'll send you tutorial videos. Actually, that's one of the things I wanted to get to as well, because of one thing I wanted to say, which is that the JCWA, for the JCWA, for people that are going to be editing JCWA content, I'll actually have on YouTube online like JCWA editing 101 videos that will teach you everything from editing matches to editing intros to splicing it all together to exporting it, and all that kind of stuff. And once the video is an actual, or at least once the video is close to being done or you think it's good, of course I'll look over it, I'll make any changes if needed. But this is really something that I don't want any part of at all. But at the same time, it's something where if you put in the hard work, whoever edits it, that's extra stuff for you guys. It's a I call it a bonus event because it's a bonus. Like, that's really what it is. It's something that you guys, for this creation or invention, I should say, that I came up with, will have more content, more matches, and things like that. That doesn't necessarily interfere with everything else going on in the JCWA. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even necessarily have to 100% follow everything storyline wise what's going on. Matches can be put together with people that storyline wise have really nothing to do with each other, and things like that. So that's something cool that I wanted to introduce to you guys. And to answer a point I made a little earlier, the reason I'm doing this and asking people to help out with this kind of stuff and uploading JCWA tutorial videos and stuff is because, now, before I get to this, if you have not watched the Platinum Tournament, okay, if you did not watch it, I would suggest watching that first before continuing to listen on, because I'm going to be spoiling a lot of things from the Platinum Tournament in this, and I don't think it will do you a service if you listen to this and then watch the tournament and already know what's gonna happen and everything. I'd rather you watch the tournament first. So if you haven't seen it, check it out first, but if you have seen it, continue listening on. As you guys know, from there, what is confirmed to be the event after Season 7, Platinum Season 7, is the Platinum Rumble 2. Now, I cannot stress enough how excited I am for this Rumble. I love Rumble matches. Like, I think they're awesome. I love Royal Rumbles from WWE, obviously the inspiration for this. And I love the concept of, two people starting out. Every few minutes, another person comes out. It could turn into this whole chaos, this whole war. And this is going to be a 20-man match. A 20 competitor match for the JCWA Platinum Championship. Can't get any bigger than that Rumble wise. So, that's already one event pretty much confirmed. But I wanted to let you guys know as well that I'm planning on doing 3 more events after that event. And when I say that, I mean planning on editing them, putting them together, all this kind of stuff. However, after those 4 events, the Platinum Rumble 2 included, I'm done. And I don't want to say what the other 3 events are because, I wanted to be a surprise for some people. But other people listening to this knows exactly what the 3 events I'm talking about and why I'm saying 3 events instead of 4 or 2 or anything like that. Because that last event out of the 4 events is probably the most important event. But after that, stepping down officially as editor, meaning by that point I need already, or rather, in order for JCWA to continue going on, somebody by that point, and mind you, who knows when that's even going to be, that might not even be this year, but by that point, somebody will have to take over JCWA on the editing side. I have no problem with the shooting, appearing as a character, coming up with the storylines, because I think they're great, personally, but as far as editing, I can't. Honestly, I'm not even supposed to be editing the stuff now. In 2013 was the first time I put my foot down. I'm not going to edit it anymore, but you know, you guys know what happened with that and the situation with Rojas. I had to take over again. Then in 2014, I wanted to stop again, and I did. And that's why in 2015 we only did one event. That's why in 2016 we didn't do anything until towards the end of 2016, and that's because simply I didn't want to do it anymore. I was burnt out. And for anybody, even if you're not really like, you don't understand editing or what it takes, like if you really watched the Platinum Tournament, like if you really sat down and watched this thing, you will see the time and effort and energy and dedication and mostly time put into that Platinum Tournament. And the same goes for anything in the JCWA that I made before it, or even anything in Just Century Films. Because the thing with me, because I remember I had a conversation, I think it was with Ortiz or somebody, where they were like, man, you're a perfectionist, bro. Like, that's why it takes so long. And you're right. You're right. That is why it takes so long. Because I'm a perfectionist. But at the same time, you guys have to understand that this is my reputation. You know, despite the fact that our reach is non-existent, I still have a reputation to keep of high quality content. So it doesn't matter if it's JCWA, a movie, a short film, a series, it does not matter what it is. If my name is attached to it and I am the editor, I will put in the most amount of effort I possibly can. I will sacrifice time and energy to make sure that whatever the video is the very best version of that video that it could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? And if you really think about it, I'm pretty sure that's the big reason why a lot of people like the JCWA. Because not necessarily for the wrestling. Even though we have some really good wrestlers. Some people, you know, they have to work on some things and stuff like that. And, you know, so I'm not knocking that, but I feel that the biggest draw to the JCWA is the storylines, the events, the editing, the whole package put together, the intros. You know what I'm saying? That's what really makes JCWA, and that's what separates the JCWA from any other, you know, backyard fed or anything. I don't like to call us a backyard fed because I really don't, but the fact is we are. You know, we are a backyard fed. We have all the traits of one. So, you know, for me, the whole thing is to make sure that we're different enough, you know, that we're not just like everybody else. That's one reason, one of many reasons why we use real names. One reason why we do things different than other people. And that's because I want us to have our own identity. Forget what you saw in the WWE. Forget what you saw in any other wrestling promotion. Forget it. It doesn't matter. We need to be different, unique, special. We're not going to be special by using nicknames just like everybody else. We're not going to be special for doing things the way everybody else is doing. We're not. So, you know, that's just to let you guys know, like, how much I put into the JCWA. Even though JCWA is technically a hobby, you know, for a lot of people anyways, it's still something we take 100% seriously because we enjoy the product and we want other people to. We want to put videos, or at least I want to put videos up, and I want people to watch and enjoy and, you know, have satisfaction from it and you know, maybe have them feel good. You know, that they were entertained, that they watched it, and that they enjoyed it. And, you know, if they didn't, then fine. They don't have to. Not everybody's going to like the same thing. Not everybody has the same taste. But, you know, it's all about finding people and, you know, mostly viewers, getting viewers that not only understands the JCWA, but appreciates the JCWA for what it is. That the JCWA doesn't necessarily have to exist, but it does exist for all of you guys. I said it in past episodes. If it was just me, or if I was the one really putting in the effort and nobody else was, I'd stop JCWA like that. Like, I wouldn't even think twice. People will probably look at me like, damn, bro, you put so much years into this. You know, you put so much time and effort and energy. Like, how could you just, like, decide not to do it? Because, like, for me, the reason I do it is because People are committed. You guys are doing your thing. People are hungry for the JCWA. People are excited for the JCWA. And that is really the big reason, one of the only reasons why the JCWA still exists. However, the reason I don't want to do it after that fourth event is because, like I said before, guys, I'm just getting older. I'm a full-time college student. I do things on the side, things, and, trying to get money and trying to start up, the films and stuff again, because that's a big thing, too. A big thing that I want is to bring back what really made Just Central Films Just Central Films. And a lot of you guys in the JCWA don't really understand what I mean by that, because you came in at a time where JCWA was the only thing we was doing. But I'm here to tell you, we have so much more to offer than the JCWA. So much more. JCWA is only one part of the machine that is Just Central Films. And it's something that you can't really tell, that it's not the only thing, because it's the only thing we've been doing for the past couple of years. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to knock JCWA, because at the end of the day, whether it gets us fame or fortune or more people watching or people this or people that, it was something fun to do and something interesting to watch. It's something interesting to be a part of. But I want to start doing short films again. I want to start doing, series, like web series and films and acting stuff and all that kind of stuff. And not just that stuff, but the gaming videos as well, like video game stuff and things I want to do too. And that's what's really going to make Just Central Films whole. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what Just Central Films is about, the films. You see, the JCWA was always supposed to be, and to each his own, because some people don't see it that way, and that's perfectly fine. You can view the JCWA however you want to view it, but at the end of the day, JCWA is supposed to be a developmental department in Just Central Films. That's what it was really blossomed for, in terms of, when we started really doing events back in 2013, 2014, and continuing on. Like, it was really supposed to be to get guys and girls to, practice things such as acting and, fighting stuff and combat and, things that would help them in their transition for when it's time for them to be involved in a feature film or a web series or, and things like that. And I know not a lot of people view it that way, and it's fine. A lot of people view it as the thing, that they want to do. They don't see it as a transitional thing or, a department in training or something like that. But the thing is, and this is my next point, this is why a big reason, only one of the reasons, but a reason why I push recruiting so much. I want to push it to the point where it gets on your guys' nerves, because it's important and it needs to be done. And I don't feel that every single person here, because some people have made the effort, or maybe they legitimately don't know anyone that's interested in acting. And mind you, I said acting, not wrestling, because they don't have to wrestle. You can be involved in the JCWA and you never have to take one move, especially if you're a girl. And I've been more pushy about recruiting now than before. The more people that come in, the more people knows about the JCWA. The more that they tell people that they know about the JCWA, because they're involved in it. You never know who somebody knows, what somebody can get access to. And while I appreciate when people share the event on Facebook, and I want you guys to keep doing it, honestly, because any little thing helps. I appreciate it, but the reality is, at least 90% of the people on your Facebook don't give a shit about what this JCWA thing is that you posted. Maybe not even wrestling, so I'm saying that's not really it shouldn't just be oh, let me share it, alright, I'm done, I got the word out, I got the message out. No, you should be contacting people personally. You should be going out of your way to finding people, letting people know about not just the JCWA, but Just Central Films, letting people know why it's interesting, why they should be excited for it, why they should be involved in the JCWA, and really let them know exactly what the JCWA is. So if it's something that they're interested in, especially with females, and I want to bring this up again because JCWA should have some sort of female division. And honestly, I'm not going to go around talking all this recruiting this and that if I'm not doing anything on my side, because I am. I brought in Jeremy Rodriguez recently. There's a girl, maybe even two, that I have planned to be involved in Season 7 or Platinum Rumble 2, all that kind of stuff, but that's only if you guys bring from your side. I know with some people, they just don't know anybody. I know with others, they're antisocial. They don't want to step out of their comfort zone. And I'm telling you, the only way for JCWA to thrive, for it to grow in viewers, for it to grow in attention, you never know. This person may know tons of people interested in something like the JCWA. The next person you bring in might be able to do your job for you. The more help we have, the more hands we have, the more storyline possibilities we have, the more possibilities that they know people, they can get people to watch, because I guarantee the people that you know that don't know what JCWA is, they're not watching. The only way for people to really care is if they're involved. If they're a part of the product, then they have that emotional attachment. Then they care. Then it's, hey, check out this thing I'm in. Hey, check out what's going on with me. And one reason, a big reason actually, why the Platinum Rumble 2, I kind of made it that 20-man stipulation, because Justin Cruz was actually like, hey, why don't you make it like it's up to 20? I didn't want to do that, because then that just gives people a reason not to do any recruiting, not to bring anybody in. Oh, no, it doesn't have to be 20. It could be 15. We have 15 people. Oh, no, we could just get, some schmuck or some jobber or somebody, from the bottom of the barrel from JCWA's past. No! That is a waste of a spot. Let's put our brains together and give those spots to new, fresh talent. People that... mind you, I'm not saying everyone that comes in is going to do good. Obviously, everybody's different. You might bring in somebody that stunk, you know what I'm saying? Or you might be able to bring somebody that did good, and that's the risk I'm willing to take. Therefore, that's why I made it clear, if we can't get the 20 people, I don't want to edit the video, because... I always believe and I feel that the best way for this team to grow is to get more people and things like that. So, that's obviously the limit for the Platinum Rumble 2. And now I know what you're thinking. Okay, after the Platinum Rumble 2, there's no other Rumbles. We're good. We could just stay at the 20. No. After Platinum Rumble 2, whatever event it's going to be, I'm going to let you guys know. If we don't match every roster quantity requirement per event, one of you guys is going to have to put it together ahead of time, before that 4 event mark that I suggested. I put too much of my effort and my energy and my time to not get the things that I ask for, even if it's hard. I know recruiting is not easy. I know bringing in a female isn't easy. I understand these things. I've been doing this stuff for a very long time. But easy or not, it needs to get done for the fate of the JCWA. If you want the JCWA to continue, edited by me anyways. If you want it to continue, you will take these requests seriously, and you will do what you can do to grow the JCWA, blossom the JCWA. Another thing I want to talk about right quick before I do the progress reports. I remember the other day, Josh and Ortiz and them were kind of like, why do you number the events? Like, why call it Red Alert 2 instead, why not just call it Red Alert 2018? Well, what do you think happens when somebody sees something that says JCWA Red Alert 2? They're going to go, Red Alert 2, where's Red Alert 1? The history of Red Alert. Red Alert 1, they can go and check that out. They can see that. I like to number them. I like to keep them organized. I like to keep them numbered, because I like to say this is our 2nd Red Alert. This is our 3rd Red Alert. You see the 3rd one, whereas the other 2, go back and watch them. Go revisit the history. What I'm doing is connecting the new events to the old events, shining new light that the old events existed, that the old events were a thing. And I just think it's more organized, because then that gives it the feeling of this is a continuation of a legacy, of the legacy of Red Alert, for example. That's why I do that. Just want to, anything that might be fuzzy for people, I just want to get out there. And a couple other things I want to say right quick is, well, one, you probably noticed it, but I've decided to upload Platinum Season 1 and 2 on YouTube, and Platinum Seasons 1 through 4 on Facebook as full seasons. So, like, let's say one video would be Platinum Season 1. It would be like the whole thing, episode after episode after episode in one season. The only reason I did that is because the original episodes are not, you can't get access to them. For example, Facebook, seasons 1 through 4 are not there. I started uploading around season 5. So I want season 1 to 4 to be accessible to you guys. Just like on YouTube, I started with season 3, so I wanted season 1 and 2 to be accessible to you guys. So therefore, Dailymotion wouldn't be the only website where you could see every single JCWA video, for the most part anyways, and things like that. I wanted to make sure that on YouTube and Facebook you can see any video, any episode of Platinum, any event at any time. We are now going to jump into the progress report. So I'm going to go through every person's name, say what they did good, what they did bad up to this point, mostly at the tournament, things like that. So first we're going to start off with Sam Aaron. Sam Aaron, one of the newest, if not probably the newest person in the JCWA right now. And as a new person, I have to say, Sam Aaron, you've done very well in portraying this character that was given to you, this management character. You've done like a fantastic job. I'm not too surprised though, because Justin told me that you guys were in some kind of like acting or theater class or something like that together, and you actually have experience in this kind of stuff. Not to mention, when you submitted like kind of like your original audition tapes or audition videos, I guess you could say, I was impressed because I already saw that you already have the talking part down pat. Because usually some people that come in, they need to learn how to wrestle or learn how to talk or learn how to do. Like you, in terms of talking, like I think you already have it down pat. Interesting character. And I think you've been putting in the work in terms of showing up and doing what you have to do. So keep it up. Next person, Giovanni Anuhar. And it's funny because Giovanni, when you debuted at the Good vs. Evil Gauntlet, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I didn't know how long you were going to be here. I didn't know, really what you were going to do and stuff like that. But you also took that kind of management character and you ran with it. And I know you were struggling at times with some of the long, promos and things that you have to say, and it might have been overwhelming at times, but I think for the most part you handled your character pretty well. You make the time, you show up, you do what you have to do, and if you think things are interesting for your character up until this point, just wait until you participate in season 7. But that's another story. Keep up the good work. Khalil Baxter. Khalil Baxter's actually not with the JCWA anymore, but Khalil was in the qualifying scramble. That's why I'm going to talk about him. The first thing I want to say is I really liked your attitude. You had a good, hungry, exciting attitude from the get-go, and I enjoyed your promos. I thought when you spoke, you had real good energy to it. But the critique I have to make is that when it was time to walk, I felt that's when you started struggling. When it was time to make commitments, show up to things, and realizing you're not getting all these opportunities and stuff. I think that's when things started going downhill, because the thing is, you would show up to a season, like an episode, like let's say whatever, season 6 or season 5 or whatever. You would show up for an episode and you would cut a good promo that made me interested in what you were gonna do, and then you would just disappear again. So for me, because I know that you said that you thought that when you first came in that you were gonna go straight to the top, that you were gonna accomplish all these things, what about you made you think that I was gonna put you over people like legends and icons and seasoned rookies and all-stars and people that have been committed and showing up every episode, and mind you don't have to show up all the time, but it definitely helps, of course, and people showing up and busting their ass and doing all these events and stuff. Why would I put you over them? Why would I give you pushes? And what have you done? What do you have? What can you bring to the table that they cannot? And it's a shame, because you could talk In terms of your wrestling, I don't know. You didn't barely wrestled here, but you could be an interesting character. You had that fire in your promos, and it's not about how long you've been here. It's about what you done in the time that you were in here. It's impressive to say, hey, I've been here 2 or 3 years, but then when you come to the realization, this is not you, because I don't know exactly how many times you were here, but it's real easy to be like, oh, I've been here for 2, 3 years, and then it's like, oh, but then you realize this person has only showed up 5 or 6 times in those 2 or 3. Suddenly, it becomes way less impressive. If you want the big opportunities, you have to put in the big amount of work. Period. Good luck in everything you decide to do in life. It's a shame that you didn't really get to do much here and things like that. I know you said you were busy with a lot of stuff. Things kept coming up in your life, but hopefully if and only if you come back and if you're back around, I really hope that you can really take the ball and run with it this time. That you can really put in the time needed, the attention needed. You know what I'm saying? In order to get opportunities, in order to get, special privileges in the JCWA. Because it's not that I like people more than others. I'm not biased. I give people what they give me. The fact that people like Justin Cruz, Deshaun Cullum, Jonathan Ortiz, Joshua Lee, Xavier Rodriguez, Marlon Black, etc., etc., etc. The fact that these guys are putting in the work that they're putting in and showing, not only with speech, but with action, how much they care about the JCWA. That's why they get that's why Marlon Black, despite how new he is, despite only being in 1 or 2 seasons prior, was a part of the Platinum Tournament. That's something I wanted to give to him because I knew that he earned it by that point. He deserved it because he put in the work needed to get something like that. But at the end of the day, man, Khalil, you're a good dude. Next is Marlon Black. I already started talking about him, so I guess I'll just finish up by saying you're killing it, man. You're consistent. Just keep at it, keep working on it, and keep doing what you gotta do, and keep practicing with, talking and wrestling, all that kind of stuff, and you'll do just fine. Next I want to get to is Nazir Campbell. Nazir, I don't know much about you. You're still new. Mind you, I know you've made it like once or twice for season 6. And things of that nature, and you were part of the qualifying scramble. You were part of the Best of Brawl main character contract battle royal. So that's already a good start. You're already doing your thing little by little, but before I can really take you seriously and give you anything major, I still need to see a lot more from you, honestly. And the people that I say this to, I'm only saying this if you want the big opportunities. If you don't really want the big opportunities, continue what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing that good, continue. Because it's fine. We'll still involve you. We'll still have you part. But once you start wondering, oh, how come I'm not getting this opportunity or that chance? Like, it's because you're not putting in as much work as other people. And this is not towards Nazir Campbell. I'm just speaking in general terms. Because Nazir hasn't been here long enough for me to figure out if he's committed or not. You've only been here for like a season. That's not enough time for me to really understand what you're going to be doing here, how much you care about the JCWA. So all I'm saying is I look forward to what you're going to do in the future, man. Next up is Brandon Cox. This one's going to be super quick. Brandon Cox, very committed, loyal. You always do your shit, man, no matter what. There's some things I feel you need to work on here and there. Your camera work could be a little bit better and, things like that. But for the most part, I think you're really good, man. And you've been one of the really loyal ones for many, many years, and I don't take that lightly. Justin Cruz. Now, again, guys, I'm going to spoil something, so if you did not see the tournament, why are you listening to this? But Justin Cruz, I want to congratulate you on being the first ever JCWA Platinum Champion. And I just want you to know, and everybody that's listening to this to know, that he has earned it. In the short amount of time he's been here, which was only since the beginning of 2017, like end of 2016-ish, he hasn't been here that long as much as other people, but the time, what he has put into the JCWA in the time that he was here, is something that not everybody does. He's a special person in the JCWA, just like, all the people in the top spots and things like that. But Justin, I really wanted to give him that championship because I knew that would solidify him as not only a main eventer, but as somebody in the same level, in the same ballpark as the Damian Jenkins, the Christian Pagans, the Aaron Benams, the Jonathan Ortizes, the Jalen Taylors, the Brandon Coxes, the Xavier Rodriguezes. You know what I'm saying? The people, the Brian Sosas, the people that have consistently put work in, busted their ass, didn't quit, did what they have to do for many years. I really wanted to put you in that pedestal, in that ballpark, in that area with this championship. So I'd say keep up the good work, but I know you're going to. Deshaun Cullum. Deshaun Cullum's another one. Nothing I can really critique. Again, he's the reason that we're using that backyard, which again, it's one way Deshaun is showing how much he cares about the JCWA, not with talk, but with action. Providing his spot for these events was the action. And Deshaun, what is cool about you too is that I know that you're big on the acting stuff, so I know when it's time for the acting stuff and the series and all that stuff to come around, I know you're gonna thrive. You're gonna love it. And not only for your time and your effort and your energy and your dedication, but you are the type of person that I look for constantly to join the JCWA and then transition and upgrade and do, the films and stuff like that. So, and as we both know, you're ready in line for something big and something important, especially since you won the main character contract battle royal. Next person, Khalil Jins. I can't say anything about you, bro, because I really have no idea where your mind is, where you stand. You weren't making it for season 6 at all, man, because, we kind of wanted high energy, together and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying, in terms of the seasons and stuff like that. I know that you were going through stuff. I remember you contacted me and you said something happened with you. So, I can't really say anything about you, man. Let's see what you do in the future. Next is Damian Jenkins. You're a legend now, you and Christian Pagan, and that's really because you guys have been putting in so much work and time and dedication for many years. It is crazy. You guys don't even understand half of the work Damian Jenkins has put in the JCWA and Just Central Films, along with Christian Pagan, people like Aaron Benan, Brian Sosa, etc., etc. And this is something that I know will always keep you relevant and always make sure that you are one of the most important members of Jet Central Films and the JCWA. Next up, Joshua Lee. Joshua, you're another one that I struggle to come up with negative things to talk about because you're pretty consistent. You have been all this time, what I'm saying, in terms of, showing up most episodes and things like that and doing your thing. And, I guess that sometimes Joshua Lee could, maybe be considered underrated in a way because of all the work that he has put in and things like that. But just like anybody else that waits patiently, like you have to do in life, your stuff is coming and things of that nature. Everybody's stuff is coming when the time is right. Next up is Jonathan Ortiz. I hope you're really taking to heart the things I said about, the quantity requirements per events and all this recruiting stuff. And not to say because I want you necessarily to be the one to do it, because I know that you've been doing it. You're the reason that people like Deshaun Cullum and Justin Cruz are a part of this. You're the reason why Joshua Lee is part of this, and therefore with Joshua and Justin came James. You know what I'm saying? And, whoever else that you brought in. So I know you're doing your thing, but I feel personally that, along with whoever, that you gotta really help me push people to do these things. Because I know you're going to be one of the ones that's going to be heartbroken if I decide, screw it, I don't want to do this shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then you guys are struggling to pick up the ball, like, oh shit, now we have to learn the editing quick because Joseph stopped. I don't want that situation to happen, man. I don't think you deserve to be in that situation because you have been putting in heart and determination and effort, and you've been busting your ass. And even back then, you may not have had the best track record in 2014. Overall, your career in general has been mostly positive, and you've contributed a lot. You've gained a lot of opportunities, as you know, and you have been a part of a lot of big moments. Of course, recently, the Platinum Tournament, making it this close. It's so close to winning the championship. But there's a reason that you were that close and that you made it in the finals and all that kind of stuff, and things like that. So keep doing your thing, man. All right, next one is Jeremy Rodriguez. I cannot say anything. You are too new, you are too fresh, too green, as they say, for me to report any kind of progress because you've only been in one season, you were involved in one match. That is nowhere near the amount of time needed for me to make a legitimate conclusion about how you've been doing here and things like that. My only advice, keep training, because of course everyone can always get better no matter what, especially in terms of like the wrestling. And I want you to get better as a wrestler as well because you're one of them that I think has the right mindset, the right attitude, and I think you can really thrive here. And you can really do some really cool things here, really good things, but that's if you continue to better yourself and you continue to stay as consistent as you are. Then we got Xavier Rodriguez. Now, Xavier, great career in the JCWA. He's one of them that people, I'm not going to mention names, that people didn't have faith in. People didn't think he was going to last long. People didn't think he was going to. But boy, did he prove them wrong. Did he say, you know what, I'm going to show you guys what I am about, how loyal I can be, how committed, how trustworthy, how available I can be for the JC, how useful, how much of an asset, not a liability, I can be to the JCWA. Just like Jonathan Ortiz, and not everyone believed in him in the beginning. And I'm really proud of your progress because I knew, Xavier, that you were capable of this stuff before most of these guys knew any of that. Just because I knew your passion for wrestling, your passion for JCWA and Jet Central Films. So I knew that you were going to be here for a bit. One thing I want to bring up, though, I know that for the Platinum Tournament, you were bummed out that you didn't make it to the finals and all this kind of stuff. And the reason I'm bringing it up because I could really tell the day of how much that affected you. Like it looked like it broke you and things like that. And I'm honestly here to say, bro, don't treat winning that serious, man. Don't. Because you're gonna break yourself. You're gonna eat yourself up. Everybody takes turns in their wins and their losses. Don't think that just because you've been on a winning streak that you're going to win forever and you're never going to lose again, because everybody has to take turns getting opportunities, getting, the shit that they deserve, you know what I'm saying? And you've been having such a good run that who cares that you didn't make it to the finals? You've won 3 open challenges in a row. You have beat veterans. You have beat an icon in a 3-way match. You know what I'm saying? You have accomplished things that not everybody, that people lower than you on the card wishes that they would get those opportunities. So whenever you are in a situation where you have to lose or you're not going to get, don't take it as, oh man, it's the end of the world, I lost, I want to kill myself. No. Take it as, fuck it. I will win the next time, or I will win when it's my time to win, when it's necessary for me to win, when I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Think of it like that because you're one of the people that I do want to give wins and opportunities to, but I don't want it to break you if you don't get the opportunity you think you deserve, because I have to account for an entire roster, not just you. Put yourself in my shoes. I have to account for an entire roster. I have to account and I have to give people their fair share. I can't just focus on giving you your fair share. And finally, James Van. For what it's worth, you got my respect. And the reason, I don't say that often. The reason I say that is because, and I thought about it the other day. My big thing is safety. Safety first. I would rather you have a safe match than a fantastic match any day. Because you guys are not robots to me assigned to do what I ask you to do. You guys to me are living, breathing people. You know what I'm saying? And I care about your well-being. I care about your safety. I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people to get injuries and bruises. But the fact that, and I will say, and this proved more with action, that you care about the JCWA more than tons of people with talk, is that at the qualifying scramble, you went into that match knowing that you had a shoulder injury. Because mind you, I had no idea that it was as bad as as I found out it was at the tournament. Because even though I know that something happened with you at PAP to Red Alert 2, and then we actually had one point had to cut the match because of a shoulder injury, I thought by this point it was okay. Your shoulder was healed, everything was fine. But, you got injured in that match too, and, when I found out, like, a part of me kind of went, you know what, like, the fact that James Van, knowing that he had a shoulder injury, knowing how severe it was, how bad it was, still decided to come out and do the qualifying scramble, still decided to bust his ass and get thrown around and get beat up and get slammed and this and that. The fact that you still did the match knowing how dangerous it would be because of your shoulder, I give you the utmost respect. Honestly. Because not a lot of people would do that. Most people would be like, oh, guys, I can't do the match. My shoulder hurts. I'm sick. I have a cold. I can't. You knowing that your shoulder was at the brink of being disconnected, dislocated, and you still did this match shows me the amount of heart you have for the JCWA and the amount of respect that you have, the amount of passion that you have for being involved in the JCWA. So I have to say, like, I'm proud of you and what you've done, and I have respect for you in that degree. However, at the same time, I don't think you should be wrestling anymore. And I know you've talked about this too. I'm pretty sure you agree with me, but I don't want the next time you wrestling something to happen that's worse, or something happens with your shoulder and you can't push it back in. You can't just simply fix it or whatever the case may be. You might land on it completely wrong and like, bro, and like that's it. I don't want that to happen in my watch, and like I said, I care about y'all as human beings. Therefore, I want to officially say that I want you, James Van, to retire as an active wrestler and just be the manager of Reaper Crew. If maybe a day comes around where your shoulder starts getting better again, you start feeling better, and you can guarantee that you're not going to get hurt in the match, that your shoulder is so good that nothing will happen, that you are perfectly fine and you can do a match, then maybe we'll talk about it. But for me, I think it would be selfish to be like, oh, your shoulder's messed up, but it's fine. We need you for this match or that. No. Because your shoulder, your well-being is more important than a fucking match. I care about you being able to wake up in the morning, not having to worry about pains in your arm or pains in your shoulder. I want to make sure that when you're doing whatever you're doing in your life, that you're not walking around with pain and hurt. For me, that's when JCWA stops being fun, and you know what I'm saying, when people start getting hurt. So that's pretty much everybody. And I really am appreciative for the people that actually listened to this whole thing, because it's very important stuff, especially if you're going to be with us in the JCWA going forward. Now you know kind of the cards are on the table in terms of my time slot, or my time window, I guess you could say, in terms of how long I'm going to be like actually editing this stuff. Like, yeah, I want to eventually, after these four upcoming events, including the Platinum Rumble 2, I'm officially done with editing it. But I want to be able to still put together those 4 events for you guys, because, I know it's not easy and things like that. But the only way that that's going to happen is if my requests are made, because I could tell you something right now, and this isn't a knock on the JCWA, but like half the time I could be doing something way more important with my time than sitting around for days upon weeks putting together these things for you guys. You know what I'm saying? But I do these things, and I do the JCWA, and I decide to do the JCWA despite if it's a waste of time or energy, because you guys enjoy it. It's your guys' entertainment. I enjoy it. I like watching the events. Sometimes I'll watch a random event and be like, man, we're pretty decent, So like I'm a fan of the product as much as I am the owner of the product. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the biggest reason I still do this stuff. But that can only go so long of a way. I'm getting older, people. I can't do this stuff forever. I want JCWA to last a very long time. Actually, when putting together, or soon planning to put together these films and all this kind of stuff, I still want JCWA to be thriving. I don't want it to be where, okay, if I'm gonna do this web series, I have to pause JCWA. JCWA has to stop in order for this web series to happen. No, I want this web series and JCWA to be going on at the same time. And the only way for that to happen is, one, if JCWA is growing, if I'm seeing legit growth and improvement in the JCWA, and two, if people are helping me put the JCWA together in terms of editing it, because I don't need help with the storylines or the characters or the matches or anything like that. Trust me. I accept it. If anybody has an idea for a match or something, for example, Ortiz and Justin Cruz being a last man standing match at Red Alert 2, that was their idea, and things of that nature. So I do take ideas and stuff like that, but that's not what I'm seeking, because I already have that down pack. I already know exactly what's going to be happening in Season 7. I know pretty much what's going to happen in the possible Season 8, in the events themselves. I already have a long-term game plan. But all I'm asking, all I need is for you to help me put that game plan together. For you to help me realize that game plan. For you to help me turn that game plan from an idea and from a thought into an actual thing. That being, the JCWA. So that's about it. So in terms of the near future, expect JCWA Platinum Season 7 to be coming soon. I can't say an exact date, but maybe in March or April or something like that. You should be able to see Platinum Season 7, and therefore a few weeks after that, the Platinum Rumble 2, and then of course after that, whatever other seasons, whatever other events that we managed to do. So this is kind of like an overview. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming, but there's a lot of stuff I needed to say, and I'm very happy I said it here. I want you guys to be fully aware of everything, of what is not only required of you, but required of the team, required in order for JCWA to thrive, and required for me, a full-time college student, to continue to full-time edit JCWA seasons and events and all this kind of stuff. And this year, like I said, I want to grow Jet Central Films. I don't want it to just be wrestling. Wrestling is just one aspect of it. And even though in recent years, wrestling was pretty much the thing, I don't want it to be that anymore. So in order for me to continue and put together these web series and these gaming videos, which will more likely get us views than these JCWA videos get us, and things like that, I want to make sure that JCWA is still going on, no matter how many web series I'm doing, no matter how many feature films I'm doing, no matter how many gaming videos I'm doing, no matter what I'm doing in Jet Central Films. I want there to always be a place for the JCWA. I want JCWA to always have a place here, and I always wanted to have kind of that original intention of getting people ready, training people, getting people prepared for the big movie roles, for the web series, for the, all this kind of other stuff that we're doing in the Jet Central Films and the JCWA. So I'll leave you guys with this. Help me help you. That is all. I am Joseph Torres, and I'll catch y'all motherfuckers for Season 7. Be good.